This is my first YouTube video and I'm looking to create a channel to document my learning and process for investing and to get feedback from like-minded individuals. Throughout this video, I'll be breaking down each of my holdings, my investor profile, and my future goals. A little background is over the past year, I've transferred around $40,000 to my self-directed trading from mutual funds and realized about $9,500 of gains. The main reason is as I started learning about the ability to invest and the high fees related to investing in mutual funds, I realized it's a no-brainer that I should switch all my funds to my self-directed account. All values in this video will be in Canadian dollars, and we can start by taking a broad view overall look at my portfolio. Accounting for everything as of right now, my portfolio sits around $80,000 with a total profit of $16,500. This is including the realized gains of $9,500. Let's break down my investor profile to get a further grasp of what my investing mindset is. Let's take a look at my investor profile. Some of the biggest advantages to my current investing situation is my long time horizon and high risk tolerance. Currently I'm 25 and I'm not looking to pull out money for at least 20 years. My portfolio has a large allocation of ETFs at 79% at the moment, but that is largely due to the fact that I'm learning and only putting money into companies that I have high conviction in. For the next 10 to 15 years, I am largely looking to be more growth oriented rather than cash flow oriented. This is something I see myself switching and going towards a cash flow oriented investing strategy in the future. Companies I like to invest in are what I like to describe as multi-baggers. These are large leading companies in their respective domains with increasing moat and monopolistic tendencies. The best of the best is what I like to invest in. Break down my holdings. I have a 61% holding in XEQT, 16% in VFV, 11% in Brookfield, 4% in Apple, 3% in Google, 2% in SCHD, and about 1.5% of Bitcoin. I'm going to go ahead and break down each of these holdings and give you my reasoning on why I'm invested in them. Looking at my ETFs, I currently have a majority of my position in XEQT, which provides me exposure into the total US stock market, the Canadian stock market, international exposure, and includes emerging markets. Looking at XEQT, I wanted to increase my exposure to the stock market of America and particularly the best companies of America. This is why, as of recent, I've been dollar cost averaging into VFV, which tracks the S&P 500 in Canadian dollars. I have a small position in SCHD, which provides me some dividend growth, and this is a position I'm looking to grow slowly over the next 20 years. ETFs provide me a diversified way of investing while I analyze and find companies I expect to beat the market and these ETFs' returns. Brookfield Corporation is my largest individual holding. While being a company that is very difficult to analyze and has multiple streams of income, I believe Brookfield is currently undervalued and set to outperform the market over the coming years. Brookfield is not a pure financial play as it owns 73% of BAM, which is Brookfield Asset Management. It has multiple other assets plus its own investment portfolio, which provide great growth indicators over the coming years. I'm looking to increase my position if I find good buy opportunities under $70. I think Brookfield, with its great ability to reinvest capital and its growing free cash flow from its wealth solutions, provides a great growth factor that I can see have marginal and multiple expansion over the coming years. Apple, I think, exemplifies what a perfect company is. They have an incredible moat, they provide a great consumer experience, have amazing growth prospects in their software, and even some of their hardware with their upcoming AI integrations into their upcoming phones. So I think Apple is positioned to continue growing, although personally I am not looking to expand my position into Apple as I think it is at a fair market value currently. Google. I think it's a great company which is affected by current investor sentiment, which is not reflective of the actual value that Google should be at. I think the lawsuit implications are highly overblown and already well reflected in the stock price, and a breakup is unlikely. Their balance sheet is incredible, which shows that they're able to pay off their debt at any moment that they would choose to. They also have extreme growth in their cloud business, which is providing diversification away from search and ad revenue. I think Google could have been considered a monopoly maybe 5 to 10 years ago, but at its current state, with the competition that it's facing from OpenAI and other competitors, I think Google is not even close to a monopoly, which provides the lawsuit with little grounds to stand on. And my last individual holding is Bitcoin, which is kind of a hedge against the market, and I will have between 1 to 2% of my portfolio allocated in cryptocurrencies, and so Bitcoin is the one that I understand the most, I think has the most utility, and also the most liquidity, which is why I've chosen to invest in Bitcoin. Here is a breakdown by sector in my portfolio. So financials, information technology take up the largest amount with 22% in information technology and 26% in financials. That's where I want my money to be, as those are the places I have the most knowledge in. And as you can see, most of my individual holdings will line up in somewhere along that sector. I think Google also is an information technology play while also being a communication service business. As you can see here, my portfolio has underperformed the S&P 500 by 1.43% over the last 3 months. Going forward, we'll be looking at monthly reviews, and so it'll be a monthly basis on seeing how my portfolio has performed to the S&P 500 every month. I'm looking to go ahead and increase my portfolio diversification into the S&P 500 and hopefully looking to beat the S&P 500 over the coming years while increasing my investor knowledge and picking the right companies that will outperform the market. Looking at dividends, you can see that I have a future expected payment of $1,162 over the coming 12 months. This is getting really close to my goal of being at $100 a month. After this, my goal will be reaching that $500 a month in dividends. My growth rates for my dividends, you can see SCHD is leading the charge, which is why I'm trying to increase my portfolio allocation into SCHD over the coming years at 11.3%. Now, XEQT also has strong dividend growth at 6.34%. Besides that, I don't have many other stocks that have strong dividend growth, although looking at some of the companies that are going to be maturing, I think Apple, Google, and Brookfield will continue to increase their dividends over the coming years. One of the biggest goals for my portfolio is to reach 100K in value. I think I'm well on pace to achieve this within the next year, looking at the contributions I have planned going forward, plus market returns. Over the long term, I do want to decrease my ETF allocation to 70%, which is about 10% lower than where it sits right now. Although contrary to that, in the short term, I am looking to buy more ETFs, specifically VFV, as I don't have anywhere I want to currently invest the capital into otherwise. Learn how to further analyze businesses is probably my biggest goal as an investor, so I can have an increased conviction in my plays and also have the ability to analyze more difficult and tricky businesses. My last goal is to have a $100 monthly dividend, which I'm on pace to hit, and I should be able to hit that within the coming year as well. So we'll be able to cross off 2 of these goals in my portfolio and replace them with bigger ones. Let's see what they're going to be. Lastly, I'd love to ask you guys a question. Do you guys have any tickers or companies you're looking to buy over the next coming months that you have really high conviction for? I'd love to hear about it in the comments, along with any other feedback or anything else you guys have for me. I'll be sure to reply to every comment. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.